You're listening to Last Word Radio, where you get the last word.
Welcome to the Fourth Line Podcast, part of the Alberta Podcast Network, powered by ATV. This is January the 15th, 2018. With you today is myself, Carl, and the always wonderful, sometimes salty, Joel.
I am unhappy right now.
What has you up in arms?
You.
Me? What did I do?
Friendship off right now.
Okay, so we're keeping this episode strictly professional then, is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know, I was going to open with something and I'm just so shaken up. I can't even talk.
Well, what were you going to talk to us about? Tell me.
Well, I wanted some advice.
Okay.
But I was hoping I could get advice from a friend.
There's friends listening. I'm sure. Get them they'll tweet it in at us.
Okay.
And we'll see what they say.
So, remember when you were playing Monopoly and you landed on that thing, like the chance or whatever, and it was like, a mistake pays you a dividend of $50.
Yeah, bank error in your favor.
Whatever, thing, yeah. So, Mr. Taxman reassessed my taxes from a couple years back, sent me a check for $500.
Whoa, well, look at you.
So this is what I'm trying to figure out. It's like essentially free money, right?
Oh, that's 100% free money, yeah.
So, what do I do with this money?
You do not spend it responsibly. That's for sure. I don't know. Your first month back in the big city?
Yeah.
What do you, like, you could take your wife somewhere nice?
I could do that.
You could go to a hockey game?
Okay. If the Leafs were in town between now and the end of the season, that would be the answer.
Yeah. Instead, just the Avalanche are.
Right.
Oops. I would I don't know, go to a concert.
There's a Luke Bryan concert coming up.
There you go. Is he playing Stampede or is that pre-Stampede?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's like opening weekend Stampede.
There you go. That's weird. They usually put those guys at the end of Stampede.
I don't know. I thought it was maybe a pre-Stampede thing, but then it looked like it was at the beginning of Stampede. I don't know. I could be way off. But he is playing Stampede, I believe. I like some Luke Bryan.
Yeah, me too. His new album is way better than his last one. It's a cycle back. If you wanted to be responsible, you could invest it. You could go to a bank like ATB.
Oh, tell me more about this ATB.
If you went to atb.com/listens, you could say, guys, I just got $500 and I want to be very responsible and grown up and just adult in the hardest way possible. How can I do that? And they'll help you.
Will they say Bitcoin?
I don't think they'll suggest you invest in Bitcoin, but you never know. The only way is to ask.
I'm going to ask, can I put all of my money into Bitcoin?
So I had that conversation with someone last week. When I sold my house, if I had to just put all of my house money into Bitcoin, whew. And then sold at the peak. Cause
a billionaire.
Yeah, I would have done well. But I didn't, because I make safe, non-risky financial decisions.
That's okay, though. That's why they call you Mostly Safe Carl.
Yeah, the always dependable Carl.
The most dependable person ever, Carl.
I don't think they're going that far, but pretty close.
Oh, they would. If you let them, if you would open up your arms to them.
Yeah. You know who I am opening up my arms to, Joel?
Austin Matthews? Finally.
It
is about time.
No, not Austin Matthews. I am opening my arms up. Well, they've been open for quite some time, but now I'm just like they're just bringing it in, and we're just hugging it out. I can't even talk. The Avalanche of Colorado, the Colorado Avalanche. Joel, they won their 7th game in a row today. 7.
Are they in a playoff spot?
I believe that they are. I don't know. I was just so excited I didn't even care. I knew that they were getting closer.
They're not. That's the thing I don't understand, is that they were in a playoff spot, and they haven't lost, and now they're not in a playoff spot.
Yeah. Well, that's what happens when you go on a bye.
I guess. It's... How do you think they're going to make the playoffs?
I think, last week I gave them a 40% chance?
Yeah.
And they haven't lost since then.
Yeah.
So the odds have to go up. So I'm going to go with 48% chance.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I was thinking of putting them on my elimination station this week.
Don't you dare. They've got 3 games in hand, and they're 2 points back of Dallas for a playoff spot. And Minnesota.
And Calgary. But they're not in that division.
No, so they won't catch Calgary, but LA, the suddenly floundering Los Angeles Kings of Anaheim.
They're still in the Pacific winnings. They're like, if you catch San Jose, you catch LA.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, man. I'm a little skeptical because it's getting late.
How? Yeah, but they're there. Like, it's not like they need to catch anyone. With the games, so if they win 2 of the games in hand, of the 3 games that they have in hand, they're in a playoff spot.
Did you know that as of American Thanksgiving, the last 3 years, the playoff standings did not change? Everyone that was in the playoffs made the playoffs.
As of when?
American Thanksgiving.
From last year.
Last 3 years.
That's not going to happen this year. Is that an actual stat? That can't be. That you're. No. No.
There is a big thing about like American Thanksgiving being like the date that not much changes after that.
Yeah.
I can't believe you bought that for a second.
I don't know.
Man.
I'm so rattled. We recorded our Patreon episode before this show tonight, and well, no, I'm telling the listeners. Not you already know this.
I was like, yeah, continue.
And Joel dropped a stat on me that I didn't know about something that is near and dear to my heart, and so I'm a little rattled. That's what's happening right now.
And Carl didn't know.
Yeah, that's a fact.
It wasn't even like I said it first. It was like I said it, and then Carl didn't believe me.
And then I was like, maybe, I don't know, let's look it up. You were like, no, that's a fact. It happened. And then I looked it up, and you were right.
It was a sad day.
Yeah.
And then things were said, feelings were hurt, and that's why this is strictly professional.
That's why, Joel, don't worry, guys. If you stay tuned till the very end. If you stay tuned till the very end, I might... I think I have audio evidence of why Joel's in a mood.
You also may get blocked from all of our social medias if you stay tuned that long.
I'll get blocked or our listeners will get blocked?
Oh, the listeners.
Oh, okay.
Listeners. Boom City and done.
Just turn it off after Boom City?
You know better.
Maybe I'll move Boom City to the very end after the clip.
No, you won't.
Look, it's the magic of podcasting.
Don't be that guy, Carl.
We can do whatever we want, Joel. Anything is possible. It's 2018.
So, I believe we need a mediator. So if any of our listeners are professional mediators.
Okay, like a lawyer.
Yeah.
We have a game involving lawyers later today.
Oh, I'm excited about this game.
It's going to be a good game. Joel, since we were last here, the NHL has announced, well, many things were announced. Everyone was announcing everything. They announced the roster for Team Canada. They also announced the All-Star Game rosters. And I think we can all agree that we knew going into it that there was going to be, that this was not going to be the Olympic team that we knew. There was going to be a lot of players on this team that we were like, really, that guy's still playing hockey? Because a lot of people, we don't follow the K, we don't follow European hockey. And so you're like, oh, Derek Roy is still playing professional hockey. Good for him. And that's what this team became. And I think what surprised me about Team Canada was the fact of how many veteran players there were. I thought there was going to be, some guys. There was rumors that Cale Makar was invited to the team and turned it down. I don't know why Darren Dredger would make that up, but
he generally doesn't make that stuff up.
No, so I would think that actually happened, which is interesting. Like, what do you think his reasoning? He hasn't said what his reasoning would be, but why do you think that he would turn it down?
I don't know. I actually think I would go if I was him, but I guess maybe like World Juniors is probably more important than Olympics now. So, you think
and school, but yeah,
whatever about that. Like, nobody cares. College hockey, go play. Like, I would just go. Wouldn't you rather So you would rather play college hockey than Olympic hockey, even at its current state?
No,
not even.
I would rather,
close.
and yeah. I just think there's got to be some sort of stipulation that you can't just not show up to all these games and still get to play or something. I don't know. I have the feeling that that's what it is that he had to stick around at his school, or his coach was like, hey,
fine, go play in the A.
I guess.
Who really cares? That's what I would do. Big whoop. I'm going to develop better in the AHL anyways. He can, and I'm sure he can play. He's 18, right?
Oh, yeah.
Is it AHL 18 or 19?
It's 18 unless your rights are owned by a CHL team.
So his rights aren't owned.
Yeah, because he didn't play in the CHL.
So he can go to the AHL instead of college.
Yeah.
Weird.
I don't know. Whichever, but that's not the point. I also don't fully understand why he didn't go. Because especially at the NHL, either the NHL's not going to go ever again, and this is your only chance, or the NHL is going to go, and you have to hope that you're one of the top 7 defensemen in Canada. Which I hope, since he is a member of the Colorado Avalanche, that I hope that he ends up being one of the top 7 defensemen in Canada. But that's probably there's some good defensemen out there.
That's probably not going to happen, and if it does, you're still more likely to go now than before.
Right, exactly.
Or now than later.
This is his chance. If that's actually so, I'm surprised, certainly.
Because I will say, I think we talked about how he was probably one of the most impressive D-men. Well, definitely the most impressive on Team Canada.
Yeah, I think the only one that would be more impressive was Dahlin, who's obviously everyone's all in.
Whoa, come on now. Come on.
Joel. Your guy you wanted me to say wasn't even the best defenseman on his team.
Yeah, well, that's because they have Phil Housley. Phil Housley was a good defenseman because he played like a winger, and he should have been a winger. Just like that Dahlin guy should be a forward. But he's a defenseman, so that's why he's like
Brent Burns.
He's like an overrated Carlson.
Wow. Which is I guess I think the lazy, I'm not going to say your comparison was lazy, but everyone they're Swedish. So that's obviously, you just assume that every Swede plays the same style of hockey.
Yeah, but I'm saying that was not even on my I was not even thinking.
Oh no, I'm not saying that that's why you said it, but
I was thinking offensive defenseman without Carlson's goodness at other things.
Right.
That's
again,
what
he's also 17, so we'll see.
What about the All-Star teams? What do you feel about the All-Star teams?
Nathan MacKinnon went. Nathan MacKinnon has been getting a substantial amount of buzz, especially today. There were so many people saying Nathan MacKinnon, he's officially vaulted himself into the Hart Trophy conversation. Nathan MacKinnon, MVP. That's what the M in VP stands for, MacKinnon. And the V stands for very, and the P stands for proud, because I'm very proud of Nathan MacKinnon and his Hart Trophy.
Okay.
He's also an All-Star. That's why I brought it up.
can I riff on a little bit of stuff here?
Sure. Yeah.
I'm annoyed by the All-Star game. I think it's well known that I don't like the All-Star game.
Yeah, you don't like the All-Star game. You don't like the 3-on-3. You don't like the fact that Austin Matthews doesn't get to be the captain over Steven Stamkos.
I don't even care about that. Steven Stamkos makes sense. It's in Tampa. I get that. That's fine. I get that. You know what I don't get is when there's like 10 guys per team and 4 of them go from one team. So you have a division that has how many teams? 8?
Yeah, there's 8 teams in every division except the Central.
And so every team in the Atlantic only got 1 guy, except Tampa.
But they're hosting it.
Yeah, but they don't need 4. Fine, give them 3. There are guys that are much more qualified to go to this thing than some of those guys. I get Kucherov, sure Vasilevsky, sure Stamkos, but Hedman or like
I was going to say, great news is, Joel, Hedman's hurt now, so he probably won't be going.
Yeah, but that's still if he wasn't hurt, he would be there.
Yeah, you really just wanted Morgan Riley to be.
No, I don't even. I actually as much as you don't want to believe this actually has nothing to do with the Toronto Maple Leafs.
It just seems, because you're not ranting about the fact that the Central Division has a ton of people from Nashville.
Do they have?
Year.
I believe we talked about the same thing last year.
They've got Pekka Rinne and PK. The Los Angeles Kings are sending their entire roster. They've got Kopitar, Doughty, Jonathan Quick.
Do you want me to bring up the text messages that we talked about that? I am 100% confident that I ranted to you about the LA Kings sending too many players as well. I think the most a team should be able to send is 2. And if you're the home team and you have 3 guys that qualify, I will allow that. But 4 is ridiculous. You're basically saying if you had a good season on your team, you're still not going over the big name on your team.
Right.
Which is, so poor Phil Kessel probably having one of the better seasons of his career. And who went?
Chris Letang.
Did Chris Letang go?
And Sidney Crosby,
Oh my goodness. See, this is dumb. I hate the All-Star game. I hate it. This is so stupid. This is it's just dumb. It's dumb. There's guys that should be going to this game, that deserve to go to this game, and they're not because they sent 4 guys.
So aside from Phil Kessel, who do you think? Because to me, that's the biggest miss is Phil, because he's next level. He's second in my heart to Nathan McKinnon. He's not actually, but
wow, that is a bold statement.
It's also not true.
It's so. Well, who's from your Washington Capitals? Is there only one guy going from there? They're in a different division. They probably have 2. I don't know. I don't
Washington's got Ovi and Holtby going, which if you're sending 2 people, that's who you're going to send.
Yeah, but I imagine, I have no idea, but I imagine if I started looking, spent any time on this, I would find guys that were more qualified than Hedman going.
Yes.
So, and that's all I'm asking. All I'm asking is, why are you sending a guy that's not qualified when you could be sending someone else?
That's fair. I get that.
So, I'm trying to think. I could go on about the divisions again. Let's make up the NHL. I hate everything right now.
Joel is a little fired up. Why don't we make a transition, Joel, to what?
I said okay, fine.
I said no.
I refuse.
All right, cool. I guess we'll call it a show. The Elimination Station made its debut last week. Everyone loved it. It was a hit. And so this week we're back, and in order to continue to kickstart it, we're putting 2 teams in the old station.
Oh, are we going to be able to agree on 2 teams?
And this is where it starts to get a little dicier, because we need to start to come to the terms. Yeah, last week we put the Sabres and the Coyotes in there. It's not that difficult to figure out that those 2 teams are eliminated from playoff contention. There's a lot of other teams that are getting close to eliminated from playoff contention. But we need to officialize it for 2 teams. And so for the first pick, I'll let you go first. I'll go first for the second pick. So tell me, Joel, who are you picking as your selection for Elimination Station?
I thought long and hard about this. I also realized just before people start freaking out that Phil Kessel is a different division than the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Yeah.
So, which is fine. My point about the divisions makes even more sense now. Anyways, before I get angry tweets about that and have to block you as well.
How many people are going to be left with the ability to tweet at you by the end of this week?
I don't know. It's going to get aggressive. Maybe I'll be in a better mood tomorrow. Maybe I'll
It's not hard.
See, Carl's not even combating my angry rants now. He's just like, whatever. Everything he's saying is wrong. I'm just going to let him go. Hopefully we'll be done soon.
This is going to be the shortest 30 minutes. We're done. We've got 10 more. Let's go.
Okay. I am going to eliminate. I was debating about eliminating Minnesota, who is currently in a playoff spot.
That's bold.
So, but I am going to go with the Florida Panthers.
That's who I was going to go with.
Well, I guess we agreed on the first one.
I guess we agreed on the first one.
So tell me why. Tell me how do you fix this team, Carl?
Well, I guess I'll start with my reasoning of why I'm eliminating them. Now, certainly, as of late, they have played better. Of the teams at the bottom, they have the best record over the last 10 games. So
other than the Avalanche.
Avalanche aren't at the bottom, Joel.
They are not in the playoffs.
I didn't say at the playoffs. I'm talking like bottom 10 in the league.
Okay, continue.
I'm talking like, yeah. Because there's a step change. Because you've got Carolina at 48 points and then Detroit below them at 43. So there's like a noticeable gap there.
Whatever helps you sleep at night. Continue. Hey, I'm not the only one who could be saltier out here.
That's accurate. Okay, Florida. So they're turning it around a little bit. Here's what bothers me with the Florida Panthers, and here's why it's an easy solution to fix. And we talked about it a little bit last week. We talked about the coaching that they have there. I personally was not sold on Bobby Boughnet. I think that's how it's pronounced, right? It's Bobby Boughnet.
Yeah, continue.
Okay.
It's Boughnet as much as it was Kessel in the Atlantic, but continue.
So for me, I look at them and I'm like, yeah, their biggest problem was the fact that they got rid of all of their depth this offseason, right? They decided that for some reason, we're going to not only give the Vegas Golden Knights Jonathan Marchessault, who has become a fantastic player for the Knights, sign that big old extension. They were like, we're also going to give you Riley Smith because we're super generous like that. So they gave away all their depth. They literally have nothing else other than their first line. And sure, I think because of where they are, because of the amount of people who typically watch Florida Panthers, because they're losing, I know that you're going to disagree, but there are a number of people. I'm not 100% sold that he's the most, but Alexander Barkov is one of like the sneaky good players in this league, literally because it's sneaky because no one watches the Florida Panthers play hockey.
Yeah. Hopefully Barkov is as good as he is. So like, I think we've talked about how we play the NHL on the PlayStations.
We do.
So I have the new game, the 18. I got it for Christmas.
Ooh, Merry Christmas.
I play the Hockey Ultimate Team with the cards and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Alexander Barkov, my second line center, he's fantastic in that game.
Yeah. And in real life.
So,
like RL and NHL.
Yeah, so I hope, so if he's as good in real life as he is on that, like he's going to be like the next great one. The next Alexander the Great.
He's the next Nathan McKinnon.
Wow. Can I just go on a little tangent? Just a little one.
Sure, yeah.
So, This is a little shout out. I don't know how to do this. So all the people that I don't block on Twitter, or you can send this to as much as I hate 3-on-3 All-Star game, the NHL threes in the PlayStation, the best game mode of any game I've played in a long time. Except I don't have anyone to play with. So I'm trying to find someone to play with.
Okay.
So if you play NHL 18 threes, I want to play with you.
On the PS4.
On PS4, yeah. Just like send a message. I'll send.
That's what you could. If someone on Xbox wants to play, you could use your $500 to go buy an Xbox.
Nope.
Okay. Well,
I
tried. I tried Xbox people. Just you guys go buy a PlayStation, and then you can play games with Joel.
So Carl and I tried to play against each other, but it's hard when he's racing NASCARs. Doesn't work.
Not super well.
Anyways, that's a little side tangent. I think the problem with the Florida Panthers is, they got rid of their depth. Yeah, I agree. But they also just, there's a lot of long-term, not great contracts.
Well, we mentioned earlier on our Patreon episode, Michael Matheson.
Yeah, that's going to be bad. And, Yandel. When he signed that deal, we knew it was going to be bad.
Accurate.
Huberdeau. That guy, can he get it together? I don't know. I don't think so. He doesn't seem like Jan. Is he doing well this year? Who even knows? No, he's not. He's not playing the way that he needs to.
No, there's this team is one line, and other than that, there's not a whole lot going on there. And I'll let you continue your rant.
I'm just saying, that's the thing. They got Luongo, then they have James Reimer. It's just weird deals. Bukestad. Who's their top line? Barkov, Trocheck.
Yeah.
And whoever they decide to play with those two guys.
Yeah. That's a throwback. It is Cupboardo, your boy Cupboard, and Dandenau are with Barkov. Trocheck is with Bukestad and Jamie McGinn on the second line. Oh my
goodness. It's just, I don't know. I can't get, I don't know how they're going to get better, because partly they're never going to, I don't know, they do spend big money.
They do spend money. Well, they get, their kickbacks from the NHL. Here's my problem with this team, and you mentioned it. This team, no matter what they do, they are going to get significantly worse in net next year and the year after. James Reimer, great backup. I would love to have James Reimer as the backup goalie on my team. Even for the $3.4 million they're paying him. Whatever, that's fine. I'm okay with that. Joel's giving me the meh face.
I disagree, but continue.
Would you disagree? So 3.4 is what you disagree at?
Yeah, he's fine backup, whatever.
Right, yeah. I think that money is a little bit of we're going to make you start because Roberto Luongo's old. And they have 38-year-old Roberto Luongo, who is currently on the injured reserve. So James Reimer is all they have. There is nothing really in the pipeline for goaltenders in Florida. And so that is going to be the biggest thing that they need to solve is, sure, you've got the star players that you need. You don't need that. You don't need the big hit in the draft. Certainly, they're going to be drafting. They're in the lotto. You're not going to turn down a good pick. But they need to fill in that depth. Jamie McGinn should not be on your second line. I love Jamie McGinn on my third line. I love Jamie McGinn on my fourth line. I was a huge fan of him when he was in Colorado.
I love him as my top line in the AHL. Just love him there.
That too, yeah. He would look great on the Marlies right now.
Yeah. He's like a third line on the Marlies. Dude, Marlies are good.
They're good, yeah. That's fire. That's fine, whatever. So that for me, that's what you need to fix, and you need to decide. Bob Boughner was such a weird choice for this team as a coach. A team that you don't want a coach to come in here to be to me. I would want someone the same way we talked last week about Arizona. This is a team that is questionable in a lot of places, and you need a reliable coach to come in and hold that together. Yeah. Not a guy who's got great experience behind him at a different level. I want a guy who can come into this locker room and run an NHL team.
All right, Carl. Who are you Wow, I don't know how to talk. Who are you pooking? Who are you picking on the Elimination Station? Who are you trying to get out of here?
My pick for the Elimination Station. There's a lot of great choices left. As I mentioned, there's like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 teams in this bottom chunk of the National Hockey League. My next pick for the team that I am eliminating is the Ottawa Senators.
I like it. Get rid of them. Good ride.
All right.
Good riddance. Trade Carlson.
And this is I'm excited. I literally, like, part of me, it was easy to pick them, because they're next after the Sabres and Coyotes in the point standing. So I'm like, okay, that's fine. But I have had quite the change of heart in regards to the Ottawa Senators. You may recall, Joel, and I certainly probably said it on this show. I said when Matt Duchene got traded, I wish him the best in Ottawa. I want Matt Duchene to go and succeed. I like him. I want the best for him. Do you remember me saying this? Am I making this up?
I don't know. It's okay. Continue. I'll agree. Yeah, Carl. Totally on board with that.
Do you ever listen to what I say?
Yeah, all the time.
Like 50% of the time?
97.3% of the time.
That is too specific to be accurate. Okay, so that was how I felt about Matt Duchene. And then he went there, and just, he was so smug winning in Sweden, but also not the reason they won in Sweden. And then I watched the Colorado Avalanche become an entirely different team without Matt Duchene in their lineup and in their locker room. And simultaneously, I watched the Ottawa Senators collapse from being in a playoff spot to suddenly third worst in the NHL.
The Colorado stink.
No, it's the Matt Duchene stink.
It's the Colorado stink. Because what happens if Colorado is just otherworldly but still misses the playoffs? That doesn't feel good.
I am quite happy right now. So
can I make a bold statement about the Ottawa Senators?
Sure. Go nuts.
Can we? I feel like the Elimination Station may make an appearance. This might be a regular thing. Maybe we do it next season as well. I'm willing to eliminate the Ottawa Senators from the next year's playoffs.
They're the first submission. That's what we'll start doing. Yeah, next week we'll cover 2 teams. One will be the 2018 Edmonton Oilers and the 2018-2019 Ottawa Senators.
How do you fix this team? Again, it's not surprising that most of these teams have less than ideal contracts.
And also multiple things wrong with them, right? You're not the third worst team in the league by accident.
No. And so I think really, I don't know how much we want to actually get into this, but I think really what it comes down to is they really need to hit the lotto. That's the only way they're going to see, and that's the answer for almost all of these bottom feeder teams, is they need to hit the lotto. You need to get that Patrick Laine, Matthews, McDavid, Kane. When the teams hit they get that next level generation player. Patrick Kane, just in case you were wondering. I know that my rantings were all over the place. I was not talking about Evander Kane. I was just because was that not? That's when Chicago turned it around. When all of a sudden they had Kane and Taves.
Yeah, and Keith and
yeah. So
you get a steal in the draft in Duncan Keith. You pick Taves and Kane at the top. And all of a sudden, you're good again.
Yeah, so and that's, you look at the teams that have turned it around recently, we don't know what the Oilers are doing.
Right. But you look at, your Leafs, right?
Yeah.
They don't get Austin Matthews. If they pick third and they take Pierre-Luc Dubois, they're not sitting right here right now.
No. And, and that's the thing, it is about developing players, but it's also about hitting the right ones. There's a reason, Winnipeg, yeah, they have Ehlers, they have Scheifele injured right now. Hellebuck is apparently good. I don't know where, that was, I had to go look at him when he made the All-Star game.
like why? Oh, he's actually is good.
Yeah, he's been good. So they have these guys that they're developing to be good, but again, who's the best player on that team? Probably
Ottawa?
No, Winnipeg.
No, Scheifele.
You think it's Scheifele?
Probably. Yeah, I think it's Scheifele.
I think it's probably Laine. Guy's that guy is he might be the best shooter in the NHL right now. Watch out, Brock Besser.
I was going to say, Vancouver Canucks fans are going to hate you for that. You're gonna have more people to block on Twitter.
Bring it on. I'm willing to stick to that. Dude, have you watched Laine play? I have,
yeah.
This is not about the Winnipeg Jets. He's so good.
Are we putting? I don't think we should put the Jets in the elimination station.
The guy's got an awesome shot. There's no question. I know that the Laine Matthews thing is going to be there for the rest of their career.
Until Peter Chiarelli becomes the general manager of the Winnipeg Jets and trades him away because he hates talent.
Apparently. But there's no question that Laine is the better shooter. Pure shooter.
Oh, yeah.
And
there wasn't any question at the draft, and that's been proven to us.
Yeah, but you gotta. That's the thing with Ottawa. They gotta hit. You gotta hit a guy, and you know what? They gotta hope it's not a year. I don't know. I'm hesitant to say, but are you excited about Hischier and Nolan Patrick?
No.
Yeah, I get it. New Jersey's all of a sudden good. I don't
But that's not 100. They added a lot of pieces this year.
Yeah. I actually think more they're actually the team that I'd probably say is most likely to drop out of the playoffs than any other team.
That's currently in. Well, they were in at Thanksgiving, so it's pretty much done.
Oh, it's locked in for good. Yeah, so I think that's for Ottawa. They have to hit, and they gotta hope they can sign Karlsson long term. They have to. That guy's if you could add Karlsson with a Nathan McKinnon,
don't get me excited.
Yeah, well, I'm not talking about in Colorado because that's not happening.
Why not?
It's not going to happen.
Joel, did you know the captain of the Colorado Avalanche also Swedish? You know who else is Swedish? Carl Soderberg is Swedish.
I'm going to start listing teams that have Swedish players.
A lot of them, talented Swedish players.
Yeah, but Karlsson's not going to Colorado. If Karlsson becomes an unrestricted free agent, what are the chances that you put on him going to Colorado?
5%.
I would put it at 1, maybe. I would probably say less than 1.
I wouldn't say it. I would, because if you yeah,
it's really low.
It's not that low because the Avalanche. He wants the money. That here's why I like it. He's already said he's getting market value, right? Whether he stays in Ottawa or goes somewhere else, Erik Karlsson's getting market value. The Avalanche can afford to sign a market value Erik Karlsson.
Yeah, it's not happening.
Just want to let you know.
I really regret mentioning McKinnon. The point of that was not to talk about your Avalanche again for about the 27th time this episode. The point of it was to put him with, if the Ottawa Senators could hit a lottery pick that puts them with, all of a sudden you're pairing an elite defenseman with an elite forward, you're doing something. But you're just not going to find that. Unless, this is never going to happen. But if they, Ottawa, I don't know where they're at cap-wise, could they fit Tavares and Karlsson in?
Right now, no.
There's no way they could. So, but that's the type of...
For those wondering, Ottawa currently has $10 million in cap space for next season. So,
but they're hitting long.
Karlsson's not for two more seasons, right? So they would have to give all of their cap space to John Tavares this year. And then whatever's extra for the salary cap going up, they fill with AHLers, which you can do that. I think you could. Do you think you could win with this team, a bunch of AHLers, Erik Karlsson and John Tavares?
Probably. It'd be a really good team. I they'd have to try and figure out. They'd have to like move. They'd have to move. They're not going to be able to move like a Dion Phaneuf. But
well, like it would be things like Mark Stone wouldn't be coming back as a restricted free agent,
which would be rough. Like you're replacing Mark Stone with Tavares.
Which you do that. Right. That is a trade that you do. Anyways,
do you trade Stone with like a Dion Phaneuf
just to get out of that?
Yeah, like there's a team that would do that.
Yeah,
definitely. Like Mark Stone and Dion Phaneuf for a first and a third. Mark Stone's a good player. Mark Stone's a really good player. So I think to trade away like to like a team like Arizona, who has cap space for days.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I think you could get that type of value back.
I think they could definitely swing something like that. Here's my okay. Can I share my thoughts on Ottawa?
Yeah.
Are you okay if I budge in here?
Yeah, sorry. I went on a rant.
No, that's fine. That's allowed. Here's the way that I look at the Ottawa Senators. This team that they have right now. Sure, they swapped out Kyle Turris for Matt Duchene. In a vacuum, like, that shouldn't have been that big of a change, right? According to the Senators, it was an upgrade because they paid a whole heck of a lot for an extra year of Matt Duchene, right? The amount of pieces that they gave up is sizable. So, according to them, Matt Duchene better. As we've seen right so far, not so much. But I think long-term, like, whatever. Even if you consider them equal. This is essentially the exact same team that the Ottawa Senators took to a fairly deep playoff run last year. Mm-hmm. This team is not that, and I also don't think that they're this, right? Because if you look at it and you're like, well, if it's the same team, like what are they? I don't think that if you were to play this season 20 times, I think that they are right at like fringe playoff team level. I don't think that they're a playoff team. I also don't think they're the third worst in the league. And so for me, looking at what they need to do for next season, they need a couple of things that they need to do. They need to figure out what they're going to do with Erik Karlsson. And that's what this all hinges on. The entire plan. And I know Erik Karlsson's not going to do it because he said he wants to test the market. The Ottawa Senators would borderline have to overpay to lock him down a season early, right? Like you're talking, they would probably have to go $11, $12 million for 8 seasons to lock him down now, right? Like, am I crazy on that?
I don't know. I still don't know if it hinges on him though. Like it's him plus something else,
right? But this is what But their plan, because if you are losing Erik Karlsson, you burn it to the ground. And you build it back up, right?
Trade Erik Karlsson. You don't let that hit the market.
Right. Well, you do, but you don't let it hit without getting something for him. So yeah, you trade. If you are not going to be able to retain Erik Karlsson, trade him now. Like right. I'm 100% in favor of that. So figure that out, right? Figure out, are we going to pay what it takes? Are we going to be looking at that much money to put in Erik Karlsson?
Yeah.
And then you figure out around that, right? Are you going to pay what it's going to take for Mark Stone to stick around? What are you going to do to get out of are you going to pay someone to take Dion Phaneuf's contract?
Probably not.
Are you going to retain? Are you going to do that? What are you going to do in net? You have 36-year-old Craig Anderson, who is not getting any better. This may surprise you, Joel. Goaltenders don't typically get better at 36 years of age.
Yeah, I think it basically comes down to they're gonna get a lottery pick this season.
Yes.
So if they hit the number 1, then maybe you don't burn it down. If they hit that guy, and I don't know who the guys are this year. I never know. It's not draft season yet, but anyways, yeah, I agree. I think it hinges on like the thing is that's crazy is that we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 6 teams that we would all probably bet on missing the playoffs this year that actually have their franchise player?
Yes. So we're talking like Eichel, Price, Barkov,
McDavid.
Right. That was this got sorted by Eastern Conference. I was like, where are the Oilers?
Carlson, and I don't think the Canucks do, but I really like Horvat.
Again, Joel just really, really wants the Canucks people to come after him. I don't think the Canucks do, but Bo Horvat's a pretty good player.
I like Bo. Do you not like Bo Horvat?
I do like Bo Horvat. Yeah.
Are we done with Ottawa? Because I have another thing that I was just like that kind of came up in this that I would like to talk about. Okay. I think I've come down to a very sad realization, and this is hinging that Tavares doesn't go back to the Islanders. Matt, we're going to talk about this for about 2 minutes if you want to skip.
Yeah.
I think I'm coming to this sad realization that he's going to Montreal, and I don't like it.
That's where you think. I don't think Montreal can afford to bring. Can they afford?
They totally can.
I assume you looked it up. This is your premise, but
yeah, they totally can. And you want to know why? Because they're not re-signing Thomas Plekanec.
Certainly not to that hit.
No. And if they trade because there's talk about trading Pacioretty. How do you say that guy's name? They trade him and they don't bring back Plekanec. They've got more than enough space to sign Tavares to a 10.5.
Well, that is 10.5 right there. So you trade those two guys. That's interesting.
I'm not wrong. It's
they can afford it.
Canadian team in a big hockey market
with money.
With money, can sign him to the 7-year deal.
Do you think so? Right now, and we talked a little bit last week. Marc Bergevin is one of the GMs that is considered to be in the lower end, right?
I can't imagine. Are they actually going to let him live through this trade deadline? Oh my goodness, I can't imagine it.
Well, then that's right. Because if this scenario happens, Joel, if Marc Bergevin is the one to sign John Tavares, this turns that team around.
Oh my goodness, they're a good team.
And all of a sudden, Marc Bergevin doesn't look so terrible.
Yeah, let's say they're not going to be. Well, they might be in a lotto spot. Let's say they sign Tavares.
Well, because everyone's in a lotto spot, right? So they could.
But you can't. You can only move up 4, can't you? Or can you actually win it all now? I forget how this.
You can win it all now. They switched it last year.
Okay, so maybe not the best idea then. I was going to say because they could easily try and get out of a Jeff Heatrey deal by trading a pick with it, but you probably don't want to. You don't want to do that if you don't want to do that if you win the lotto.
But you also don't need to. You just proved that they do not have a need to clear more cap space.
But if they did, that really does free them up to even they could add Tavares and somebody.
Yeah.
And a high draft pick, and all of a sudden this is a really good team.
But here's the I don't think, and this is my premise of this is not really my premise. I don't know why I said the word premise. I just I look at this team and I look at what is available in free agency, and certainly so if you're going to go out and trade for a piece, right? If you're thinking okay, let's move Petrie and a piece and try to get in, they probably could use I don't know which they would go for at that point because you filled the center gap with Tavares, right? So what would be the next need for this team? A second center? If
probably because they just hate Galchenyuk. But think about it, because you all of a sudden you sign Tavares, you move Drew into Tavares' wing. I don't care who you put on that line with them. That's I like that. Druin's 22. He will be fine if they stop messing around with him and put him with a really good player. I know that's not a great endorsement of him, but like there are some guys that if you a winger that plays with Tavares at 5.5 for the next 7 years, you're happy about that. If he's really good, and I'm sure he would be. But I can't see any other move. I can't see if he doesn't go back to the Islanders, and why would he want to? I don't get why he would want to.
Yeah, I'm with you. This is interesting. I saw someone make the case on the internet earlier this week that the Montreal Canadiens could very easily become a team that has improved in the same way that New Jersey has this year. You make that pick in the draft, you improve. You have Jonathan Drouin, who second year with the team improves in the same way Taylor Hall did second year with his team. You have, you move out some pieces, you tweak a little bit. This team isn't that far, right? Like, yeah, they're not.
But the thing is they have the money and the space. Like, New Jersey probably doesn't have the ability to sign a long-term guy to a huge deal.
No.
Montreal can.
They do. Yeah, they do.
It's just, I don't like the idea, but like it makes the most sense.
Yeah. Joel, it's game time.
Are you ready?
Okay, so are we, the premise, tell us what we're playing.
So,
folks at home.
Carl, I don't think really likes NHL referees.
Like, I'm not as against them as you are, but no one likes a ref. Like,
I'm more against linesmen than refs.
Okay. I don't hate them, but like I think I have booed referees more than anyone else at sporting events.
Can you currently name an active NHL referee?
I think if you were to give me a multiple choice of like here's what has happened, like here's 4 names, I could probably pick one out, but I cannot think of a active NHL referee.
Okay, well we'll try that, but we'll try that maybe if you don't succeed at this game. But I was looking at the list of NHL referees and I was like, you know what? These guys all sound like lawyers. Which then I realized we have now created an amazing new game called Lawyer or Referee, which no one in the world likes either of those people.
Yeah.
Arguably, am I wrong? Arguably, 2 of the most disliked groups of people.
Yeah, stereotypes are a thing.
So I'm going to give you a name. You tell me. Toronto area lawyer, NHL referee.
All right, let's do this.
Chris.
So, and this is referees, not linesmen?
We'll see. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know if my list appears to maybe not separate the two.
Okay.
So, does it really matter? Are we like, is that the deal breaker for you? I know my referees, but I don't know my linesmen.
It was, yeah. I just wanted to know. Point of clarification.
Okay. Chris Rooney.
That's
attorney at law.
Referee.
It is a referee. I'm going to add attorney at law after all of these, just so you know.
Okay.
American, by the way.
Oh, there you go.
Dean Morton.
Ooh. Lawyer.
NHL referee.
Okay. I did one thing. I need to start a scoreboard.
Okay. You're
Carl,
1 for 2.
Yeah, I'm 1 for 2. My pen has died.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
I can't say some of these names. Brad Meyer.
Referee.
Attorney at law.
Oh.
John L. McIsaac.
Lawyer.
Referee. There is an initial in the referee.
Good for him.
I know. Jesse Nyman.
Now I'm in my head. Because, so here's the thing. You know when you're doing a multiple choice test in school and you're like, there's been a lot of time without C's. Now I don't know, what's happening. I'm trying to guess you. I can't figure you out, Joel. Jesse Nyman?
Yeah.
Bure.
Correct.
I'm back on the board.
Back on the
2-3.
Scott Driscoll.
Ooh, old Scotty Driscoll. I am fairly certain Scott Driscoll is a referee.
You are correct.
Whoa, tied it up.
Tied it up. Is this the last one? This is for all the marbles?
Are we doing? Yeah, we can play to 7, or I guess 4. Play best of 7.
Okay, well, we'll see how you do, and we'll see how angry you get about this one. Jean-Claude Killet.
Come on. Jean-Claude Killet. I am going to go... You haven't named a French official yet, but you got to assume that there's a French lawyer in Toronto. There's a lot of people in Toronto. I'm going referee.
Lawyer.
Ah, dang it. That's
that
a loss.
Is that it? We're gonna leave it there.
Yeah, we can end it there.
Okay, here I'm gonna do multiple choice to see how you do. 'Cause you said I can pick one out if you give me multiple choice.
After playing this game, I realize I cannot.
Thor Nelson, Bob Myers, Jean Morin, Pierre Jampeau.
Not Pierre Shampoo. I'm going to go with the second one.
Is that John Morin or Bob Myers?
John Morin.
Doesn't matter. It was Pierre Shampoo.
Well,
this is a good game.
yeah.
I like it. I like that. I don't know. I'm guessing that nobody enjoyed it except us.
Yeah. I don't know. Play it. I know you already got the answers, but if you didn't play along, play along. Turn it back around.
Well, you can't go back now.
Sure you can. Joel, do you think anyone except for Pierre Shampoo remembers the answers to those questions? There was the 2 French guys. Those are the only ones that people are going to remember. The rest of them, no one knows what they were. Okay. High sticking? Pavel Bure's?
I have no idea. It's so derailed. This has been an episode and a half.
Especially for those who watched your breakdown. I'm hoping that I have some video evidence of this, some audio evidence.
No video.
I might have had the video running on that one.
I don't think you did.
I didn't. I wish I had. All right. Ken is leading high sticking with 16 points. There is a log jam behind him. Lots to still play. We'll play. I think we'll just play to the end of January.
Yeah, sure.
All right.
Whatevs.
Okay, so we are going to be picking still some buys this week, but it looked less buys. The schedule is looking a little bit nicer this week.
Here's your choices for Tuesday.
Okay.
You picked the game-winning goal. Did we say that?
Yeah, these are our Pavel Bure's, the must-watch game of the week. You play us sticking on the Twitter at Fourth Line Podcast. You tell us one player from each team who you think is going to score the game-winning goal. If you're right, you win points. If you're wrong, you get nothing.
Yeah, I'm thinking about the playoff high-sticking winner. I'm thinking about making a T-shirt for them.
Oh, I like it.
I have a pretty good mock-up of a T-shirt.
You did, yeah. That we've mentioned Patreon once already, but that'll be one of the things made available for our Patreoners if we make a shirt. I think the playoff one probably it just has your face and says thank you for playing high sticking. Does it not?
Yeah, it's amazing. It has me and you on the back wearing Don Cherry suits.
Oh, I like that.
Okay, San Jose, Arizona, or Nashville, Vegas. Those are your options.
Nashville, Vegas. There's actually some good games that night.
Where do you want to go? Do you want to go Jersey Islanders?
I'm very okay with Nashville, Vegas.
I thought that was the best one, but I don't. Yeah. You can choose. The next night.
I also like New Jersey Islanders. Philly Rangers is a tight matchup. We're getting down second half of the season. We're looking at no one wants to watch Arizona get destroyed by San Jose. Next night there's only 2 games. One of them's Boston, and so it's Pittsburgh versus Anaheim. Although Montreal Boston, good good to see Philip Deneau left the hospital. That was a crazy accident there.
Well, they're playing the same team again. It was against Boston that happened.
Yeah, it was. I know. That's why I brought it up.
So, lots of games Thursday. Where do you want to go?
Well, lots of games Thursday. There's I don't want to pick Vegas twice, but I'm just going to mention the fact that Vegas plays Tampa.
Should we? Let's not go back. Jersey, Washington. That's not
Jersey, Washington. That's my pick. Yeah, but also Tampa plays Vegas that day. That'll be a good test.
Oh, we're repeating on Friday.
Oh, is that the 19th? Is 19th Friday?
Yeah, Vegas, Washington, or did we pick Anaheim already? Yeah.
Anaheim.
So which one do you want to see again?
I do not want to watch Vegas, Florida. That's not what I'm picking.
So we're going to go West Coast game. For our
West
Coast,
Coast, yeah. All California. Los Angeles Kings of Anaheim versus the Anaheim Ducks of Los Angeles.
Saturday, everybody plays. We have
all the buys are done. Everything's over. We're back. Hockey's returned. Do you want to watch your Toronto Maple Leafs clobber the Ottawa Senators?
They do not do well against Ottawa. They are going to lose that game.
So you don't want to pick that?
Probably won't watch. I get so mad when they lose to Ottawa.
Okay. What are you feeling for Saturday then? I've had a lot to say on this week. What do you want?
I want to watch an afternoon game. So I'm going to go Winnipeg, Calgary.
Okay, yeah, Calgary's red hot. The only team hotter than Calgary are the Colorado Avalanche right now. So,
and then Sunday, not the morning game, not the West Coast game.
It's a repeat of some form. We either got a repeat of Winnipeg and Vancouver,
Kings Rangers. That's not a repeat.
Well, we've had Kings and Rangers this week, have we not? No, not Rangers. We've had Kings. That's fine. We can stick with LA.
Okay. Well, do we have, I don't know, San Jose, Anaheim? That's a repeat again. It's a repeat no matter what here.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Let's, I'm fine. Let's Rangers.
Monday, we definitely have a game.
Monday, we have a problem. That's what we have on Monday.
We have Colorado continuing their win streak, winning 7-0 versus the Leafs.
I would like to point out to you that the Toronto Maple Leafs, and I know that the Avalanche, I have said a lot of very nice things about my Avalanche so far, but Jonathan Bernier is still in net. So that's a problem, Joel. That is a big old problem. Hey, so that's the games. Play on the Twitter and you can win stuff. Here is another thing that I want to tell you about, Joel.
Okay.
There was some big news over at the Alberta Podcast Network this week.
Yeah.
Because lots happened, lots of great things happening. Two things. One, we were on the literal news.
Like actual news.
So if you're a Canadian, you are aware what global news is. Well, Global Edmonton did a piece on the Alberta Podcast Network. Yours truly, the Fourth Line Podcast, mentioned on the website, shown in the news piece. Very, very exciting to be on the news this week.
I like it.
As well, Joel, there has been an addition to the podcast slate.
Ooh.
We are no longer the only hockey show in town over there.
What? Tell me more.
Tell me more. There is a show, and been aware of them for a long time. The folks over at Hockey Feels, Stephen and Rachel. One is an Oilers fan, one is a Flyers fan. So you've got two fan bases that are aggressive.
That is a weird combination.
Yeah, well, Joel, I think if you were to describe me and you as it's a Leafs fan and an Avalanche fan in Calgary, they would probably agree that that's a weird combination as well. So,
you know what, Carl? Don't make me block you on Twitter as well.
I assume you've already blocked me and the podcast on Twitter.
I have changed the password to the podcast.
I don't doubt that. Anyways, Hockey Feels is the name of the show, and they do a great job talking about, obviously a lot of focus on the Flyers, a lot of focus on the Oilers, but if you're wanting a different take on hockey, head over there, check out Hockey Feels. You can find them at Hockey Feels on Twitter or hockeyfeels.com. I feel like you should do that. You can find us on Twitter at Fourth Line Podcast. You can find us at thefourthlinepodcast.com. As always, lots of great content over there. If you want to join Joel and go find out why Canucks fans currently hate the Fourth Line Podcast in general, you can head over there and read a piece that Chase wrote about why Brock Besser's not actually as good as his 20 bajillion goals. He has, 22 goals so far this year?
I don't know.
22 goals for Brock Besser. And you can find out why Chase says Brock Besser is not actually as good as 22
Boom
goals.
City. Try and edit that out.
Welcome to the Fourth Line Podcast, part of the Alberta Podcast Network, powered by ATB Financial. This is January the 15th, 2018. With you today is myself, Carl, and Schnelly, baby.
No.